bad performances, but overall rather consistent.
That's pretty good. And how about XENEX? Because they weren't at Epic Land, so I haven't seen them. What's XENEX like in, would you say, rating-wise in the UK? If CeX is one of the top teams, where does XENEX fall?
I actually don't know too much about CeX. I know they've played pretty good in the main season. They obviously had a relatively low seed because they've drawn CX, but they've won the past 2 best of 3s against Eyes on YouM3 and BBSP. I'd like to say that they're partially a mix, I believe, but I think they've had about 7 people or 6 people on the roster since the start of the season, so maybe just having a few stand-ins here and there. But I'd assume they're a team that do crack, but not as much as I'd imagine CEX do.
Yeah. So our predictions for this is probably CX are favourites going into this.
Yes, I'd assume CEX are the favourites, but XENEX, they are a sort of a hard-hitting side, and they've I think taken part in a few of these Omen qualifiers that have passed as well, and they've gotten like 16th, 8th, 4th, I think, in one. So they've taken part in a few of them.
So they're getting the experience there. So we could see an upset, but it's unlikely with this team. I'm getting a really weird spectator bug where the guns have disappeared for like 3 players on each side.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. The only fix I know for that is either reconnecting to the server or restarting the game.
Right. How long do you think it will be until I start?
Probably the next like minute or 2.
Okay,
just because we'll find her in the server. Yeah, you can try.
I'll leave it. Unless people get really annoyed by it. I don't think it affects the casting too much.
You can try reconnecting, see if that fixes it. But
that's a good shout, actually. Hold on.
maybe you can just disconnect, retry.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. I was just trying to find the IP without alt tabbing, so it takes 20 years.
No, but I mean, like, if you disconnect from a server, like the most recent server, and you just type retry, it should reconnect.
You learn something every day. There we go. YouM3 is my teacher.
Little tidbits of knowledge.
See, this is why he does the color casting. I just sit there and meme about random stuff like sharks and. I remember that was.
Oh, that's the best part of the cap.
I can't remember why I was talking about sharks, but I was talking about sharks for a reason. Right, guns seem to have appeared this time. Hey. Oh wait, no. Wait, it might just be because he's switching weapons very fast. Oh yeah, guns have appeared for everyone. So match is live. So will they have a knife round or is it like predetermined?
I believe because this is CEX's pick, they get to pick the side.
Right. Okay. So they've opted for.
Or it might be the other way around. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, CX they start on the CT side. They've gotten the kit onto Liam or LS. But XENEX, they're setting up over towards the B bomb side. There's 4 players over towards A for the side of CEX.
Also, a lot of utility for the terrorist side. 2 grenades, 2 flashes, 2 smokes. Probably because being the way train works, you need to burst out onto one of these sites, and having utility, especially on the pistol round, I can imagine would be quite good. There's so many angles the CTs can pick you off from, and we've seen it before, especially in like pro play of like one player like Nico or something, just picking off people left, right, and center because they don't have the angle, but they're going in. Nuke Dog drops off the train, pushing up Rezu as well, trying to take point, seeing if any T's get too aggressive, and it looks like they might find the first frag. That's Ezo going down. Fraser is on the backside, finds one as well. Zulu trying to push up, getting aggressive. Will trade to Rezu, but it's traded back, and CX looks like they might have the advantage in this round. Grenade is thrown by King Mezzi. I think I said that right. 2 grenades. Not doing enough damage. They haven't stuck the defuse yet. Smoke goes down. James B2 is on defense, trying to stop the diffuser from going down. Ooh. Not a bad headshot. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, and that's CeX. They've just taken far too long. They wanted to play the round slow and see if anybody would push up ladder based on the noise cues that are happening around in brown holes. But Frazier pushed through T-Con, and they're allowed to cheat over 4 players towards that B-bomb site when that hit came through. So XENEX, they had the right idea to a point, but they need to execute it a little bit faster because CeX, they weren't going to just let the round play out without any information.
And now XENEX is opting for the force buy. Is that usual even when you've got the bomb down, or is that specific to train? Because usually I see teams, when they get the bomb down on the pistol round, they tend to eco and then full buy into the 3rd round.
There's different philosophies for it. Like, there are some that will... I mean, if CeX had bought more SMGs in this, it's not typical on a map like Train to buy SMG heavy in the 2nd round. But if they had, then they'd be on kind of equal terms in this type of a round, but doesn't seem to matter too much as they're hitting the B bomb site, but JSBT's gotten a 3-man spray down the back of the bomb site. He's done well for himself, and they're not able to recover that M4. Rezu to clean up onto Ash, and now leaves King Mezzy all alone. He's gonna try and pull one of these guns out of the hands of CeX. Let's see if he can Evil Knievel his way onto this bomb site, but such long-range engagements, and he doesn't have a good weapon to do it.
MAC-10 is not the gun you want from that range, but he might find LS. Not the League of Legends LS. This is Liam instead. We'll find him, so that's a FAMAS picked up, but that will be ripped from his cold, dead hands by Rezu. Shooting him down, gets the headshot as well, just to add insult to injury. So what's XENEX's plan from here? How do they try and improve their economy over the next few rounds?
Well, they're gonna save. This is just one of those rounds where you have to bite the bullet, you save. I think Ash might get a P250 or something, but there's potential for him to save for an AWP instead. But this is as big a throwaway round as possible. They're just gonna try and avoid dying to the SMGs so that CeX can't build an economy buffer for themselves. But aside from that, the objective just stands. Kill as many people as possible. Don't feed as much money to the SMGs as you can.
So normal Counter-Strike.
Normal Counter-Strike.
Kill them, don't die, plant bomb.
Yep.
Okay, keeping it simple. I like it. CeX, just trying to find some heads. That's one. Ghosty goes down. 3-5 this shouldn't be a too entertaining round. Ooh, that was a headshot onto Liam. He just comes out that fine. Fraser finds another one. Is peering around for last. Cuts it a bit close. Maybe it's those sort of early game jitters. We sometimes see it when players don't quite find the shots that they should be hitting. Like, they're close, but they're not quite hitting the headshots, but then they warm up into it. But I mean, saying that, they seem fine anyway at the moment.
Fraser hit some nice little one-clicks with the FAMAS to start, so maybe it's just... He started initially, tried to aim at the head, just missed, so...
He's like, give me the triple! Give me the triple!
Yeah.
And he just, you know,
the taps are on point, the spray maybe not so much, but... Either way, we'll see XENEX fully invest into this round. They've got quite a lot of smokes to work with. I think they may have already thrown one over towards Sandwich to feign some aggression outside. But still, they have 4 that they can use in the later parts of this round. They set into a passive default as well, so they've got somebody sitting inside of T-Con, I believe? Yeah, they've got Ash and T-Con, they've got people in Ivy, they're making a presence in White Holes as well. Just trying to see if the CeX players, should they have held on to those SMGs in the previous round, are going to push and try and get some information with that.
That smoke did rotate with the CeX players off the site. We'll see a rotation background after they just show some aggression towards the back of B. See if anything comes from it. Bomb is still static, so they haven't actually shown their hand yet, but we will see a player from CeX push through into Ivy. Rezu falls down. 5 versus 4. That's the opening they want, so that should spread the CTs very thin. They're sitting around the middle of the map because they look like they're so scared to commit to one side or the other. They're not exactly sure where the terrorists are going to go.
Yeah, initially they were able to cheat or rotate over towards the A-bomb site because Frazier had all of the upper bomb, or all of upper B held with that AWP, but since he was forced off that angle, they're a little bit unsure. But the hit's coming out towards A. Nuke Dog gets the first with the ult, and Frazier with a nice flick onto Ghosty as well. Gets a follow-up onto King Mezzy, and now it's Zulu and Ash to try and clutch this round out for the XENEX side. They've gotten the first one onto Frazier. and they'll get the bomb down as well now with 9 seconds remaining. 2 versus 2 now.
James BT will find Zulu. 1 versus 2. Ash is on his own, trying to clutch this round out. Just finds James. Nuke Dog the Orpa versus Ash. Flash goes out. Does hit Nuke Dog, but he's not too phased by it. Goes for the fake. He's peeking around a corner. Cheers, auto direct. Thank you very much. But nothing comes of it. Ash. Nuke Dog tries to push around the corner. Knew that Ash wasn't gonna try and peek the fake defuse. He had his nerves of steel on, and forced Nuke Dog to go on the aggressive with the pistol, and didn't quite play out that. XENEX will be very happy with that. Economy still not looking great, having to pick up SMGs though.
Yeah, CeX, they're fine to just buy into this round, considering their economy isn't too great. They've lost quite a few players in a few of these rounds, brought into 1 versus 2s, or 2 players remaining, 3 players remaining, so just CZs and armor and single smoke on Rezu. And we've talked about, or at least I've talked about this in numerous casts that I've been able to cast CeX. They're great on pistols.
Yeah, I remember that from Epic LAN. It was one of those ones where I think they were winning almost every single pistol round, but losing every single gun round.
Yeah, it hurt to see, to be quite honest. It was in the finals of Epic LAN. They couldn't.
UKCS.
Yeah, they just couldn't win a gun round.
See what they can, if they can put these CZs to work. CZs risky go for a nerf. Doesn't stop James though. Finds 2. Tries to get around the corner, but will get taken down. Ash picks up Fraser as well. 2 versus 3. Losing too many. What they would like to do. CeX getting too greedy, trying to push up the ladder. Ooh, does get a knife, stabs him right in his throat. Rezu falls. That was not the round XENEX wanted.
Well,
shouldn't be losing that many players to unarmored CZ players.
Well, 'tis the CZ, but I appreciate Ash. He was sitting above the ladder position, and he was just waiting for Liam and Rezu to go on the flank. He feigned that he kind of jumped down into lower brown holes, and because of that, LS and Rezu, they just like walked up the ladder straight into his arms. So a little bit of a mind game or a misdirect with the sound cue.
I really like the that what you're saying, the double drop down into Pop Dog. I haven't actually seen that before. So I presume that's to sort of fake it out, as in they think that only 1 player's in there. Is that the kind of thought process between that, so you can double peek at the same time?
It's more the fact that when you're in ladder, it's actually, you have the advantage massively because they're gonna drop into you. They can't shoot accurately while they're falling. So the idea is that the person on top of the other person's head is going to be accurate a lot faster when you drop down, and
right.
So he can win the gunfight. Also,
Ooh.
just the fact that both of you are peeking at the same time is a hard fight to win the CT.
And Fraser going absolutely massive, picks up 2 and gets the collateral as well, but it won't be enough. Ghosty shuts him down. Shuts James BT down. Fraser is still up. Still around. Rezu goes to peek Zulu, but the Zulu backs off. Very low health. Liam pushing in is blinded. Ghosty trying to find some more kills. Just finds Fraser, but CeX replies with 2 of their own, and Zulu's left in his own. Will stick the defuse. Zulu's forced to run, saving that AK, but he could well be pissed off. Pistoled off. Sorry. Fined. Using bad words while casting.
I mean, they're close together, so I can see why that.
Yeah. Pistoled off. I was gonna say something like you know when you think of one word and then go to say another one, it was like that.
I mean, that could be your phrase. Yeah. He's been pistoled off.
Pistoled off. No, it's a way to kind of swear, but not actually swear. It's good. Anyway, XENEX not having the round they wanted after that. 4-2. Ash goes for the jump across. No run boost. No fancy jumps. Desert Eagle and Ash, who is weird. It's seeming he is fragging the best out of his team, opting to go for it. Maybe it's just the confidence behind it. Seeing a boost up. Lots of attention thrown towards the Ivy side of the map. When you've got on train, when you've got AWPers as strong as Nuke Dog and Fraser, What's the best way for Ghosty picking up a nice kill there and Nuke Dog? I suppose that's one way you can open it up is use an AWP yourself.
Just delete Nuke Dog off the server.
How do you approach that as a terrorist side? Maybe we'll ask this question after into the next round. It's starting to see if something might actually happen. We're seeing the slow Navi strat of just sitting there not doing anything for a while. But that'll be Ash picking up Rezu. 3 versus 5, a lot slower style. Zulu takes down LS, and now this is looking fortunate for XENEX. 2 versus 5.
He's just sitting close to this player, but he's not going to whiff the shots. Zulu takes him down, he's able to spin around, but now it's all just Frazier. He's got the AWP in hand, and he'd do well to save this if he has the opportunity. Gets the first onto Ghosty, so that's the AWP dropped for the side of XENEX. They're going to be on the hunt. They want to get this out of the hands of Frazier. They know how dangerous he could be with it, but he's going to land the headshot regardless onto Ash.
King Mezzi. Oh, I just can't pick him up. Finds the headshot. That's a nice shot by him.
So XENEX have the right idea so far. I mean, obviously they're winning some rounds and they're killing some of the CEX players, but they're keeping the economy low for CEX. I think if you allow them to get that double AWP setup on the CT side, even pro teams against lesser opponents or games where they're favored in the matchup will lose a lot of T-side rounds because of the fact they don't know how to deal, like they can't deal with the double AWP setups. Yeah. And keeping it out of capable hands like Nuke Dog and Frazier is definitely the right idea for XENEX if they can hold on to this sort of, even if they lose the round, killing 2 or 3 of these players to keep the CX economy low.
100% agree with you on that. We've seen Nuke Dog and Frazier really put to work those weapons. But Nuke Dog's good with any weapon, takes down Zulu. Emperor 1S, opting to use that weapon rather than for A4. Is that, because they did buff that recently, they gave it an extra magazine, I think.
It doesn't really impact the game too much, but it's definitely might have come into play a little bit there as he's tried to take a fight to T-Con. All 3 of the players for CEX do get dropped, and now it's a 2 versus 4. James BT and Rezu all that remain. They've got armor, they've got some weaponry, but not suitable for these types of exchanges. James BT to fault, and now it's just Rezu. He's sitting in old hell, just casually chilling out, and King Messi will put an end to him.
Very nicely done by XENEX. Playing this, as you said, very explosive style, but they're looking a bit more cold and a bit more calculating now, where they're picking their fights very carefully rather than spreading out across and then getting picked off by Nuke Dog or the likes of Fraser or Rezu at these points. Seem a bit more probing and getting the information of where the CTs are, which I think is benefiting them a lot. So when they do explode out, even if they do have to walk into an AWP or something like that, they've at least got the numbers advantage. They've got the utility to set up a massive stack. They'll get sprayed down. Zulu picking up 4. Going to be a bit annoyed. Ash took the ace there on the spray down. You know, report, kick teammate.
I can't remember which team did that first, but it's kind of like an homage to the Inferno kind of pistol stack that you see on B sometimes, where they'll sit in mini pit and they all just face off instead. So if some of these players on the on the T side do decide to push top banana, they're going to be met by 5 CTs, but definitely a bit of an awkward one on trade considering the gunfights are so long range. But with minimal investment into this round, 2 players have fallen for the CEX side, Rezu and Nuke Dog to fall, Fraser to follow, and now it's just LS and James BT. They both have deagles in hand, and we've seen some fantastic deagle plays on this map in previous exchanges, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get these opportunities. LS gets flanked out.
We'll find Zulu, so see if he can pick up that AK. I doubt it. There's so many players from XENEX staring down the barrel. Nice shot by Ghosty. As you're saying, CX is deadly with these pistols, and it seems XENEX is respecting them a lot more. It's often you see sometimes teams when they go, oh yeah, they're on an eco, and they push in very aggressively and they make mistakes, and CX is a team you cannot do that against. They're terrifying on these pistol rounds, arguably more than when they've actually got guns, but they've got a double up set up this time, and we've seen how dangerous they are with these weapons. See if they can actually make something happen and swing the game back in CX's favor.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? Where because you have so little investment, Ghosty's gonna land a shot onto Frazier, despite the fact that he was boosted up the top of the box. Nukdog at least gets the trade back, but yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword where because you have very little investment into the round, you're more likely to take risks and make a game-winning play or a round-winning play. But because you've just got this these guns up and you're not willing to make those same sort of sacrifices. But Nukdog, he's taking a risk. He's found King Messi at E-Box and he's gonna find the follow-up onto Ezo and Ivy. Last player is in that same position. He doesn't know that just yet, but we'll spot him as the smoke fades. They bring it back within one.
Nukdog going absolutely massive. We said he was a player to look out for on that AWP, and he's proving his worth right there. Pick up a 4K that round. Be pretty happy with that. XENEX needs to now find an answer. As you said, they've been trying desperately to keep the AWPs out of the hands of CeX, but this is the first round that when they've bought double AWP, they've managed to keep them to the next round. What does XENEX do now to get rid of them?
At this point, smoke them off, try and kill them. It's really quite difficult. I mean, it's not. There's no surefire way to win against double AWPs because you don't know whether it's going to be at all times. But that's one way to do it. Frazier's the first one to get taken out by King Messi, so that's one of the AWPs now down for the CeX side. Yeah, you kind of thrown me into a trap question. There's no surefire way to make sure that you get rid of the AWPs on the CeX side, aside from executing and trying to find picks around the map.
Well, XENEX is trying to do just that and have done it, taking down Fraser. Seeing CT player has rotated round, that will be Rezu, and James BT is backing up. So the AWPs are currently on A. Nukdog tends to play this A site, or it has been playing this A site a lot more often. So now that they've taken down the AWP, I think they'll be a bit more confident to push out onto B site. Smoke coming in to block Zulu, but I think he is just there to draw some pressure. Getting ready with the utility. We'll see when they execute. Executing for 40 seconds. Zulu looks like he is going to be pushing out. What timing on this? He'll find Nukdog out in the open. That'll be the first kill. LS is peeking back round, but finds him as well. And that's one player left for CeX. Will be caught out in the open. Ezo, and this map, do we know whose map pick this is? Was it CX's or XENEX's?
I think it actually might be XENEX's, but I'm not entirely sure.
Not entirely sure.
We can't see the banning phase, so.
Either way, we said CX are looking like one of the strongest teams in the country at the moment, and XENEX is fairly unheard of, but they've had some fairly good results.
I mean, XENEX do have a reputable name behind them. They are an org, and they do pull up good performances, but they definitely don't have the same sort of name brand recognition. That's what I like to say. Like if you don't pay attention to the UK scene, you may not have kept your eyes on them. But
I've just been told XENEX. It said it will be XENEX's, so this should be XENEX's map. I've been told by Twitch chat. Cheers, my dude, or dudette. Sorry to interrupt there. Just thought I'd lend the.
No, yeah, that's 100% right.
Ooh. Styling on those kids with the no scope. Not too bad by Ghosty. Fragging well, 12-7. All players for XENEX has really stepped up apart from Ezo, but it seems like he's been playing kind of a support role, a lot of times flashing out or backing other players into peaks or trying to entry frag. See if he can make something happen this round though.
I think it's a bit of a change of pace from XENEX. They know that they should be on a low buy, and CeX, they've done the same thing that they did in the previous round. They're just going to go for that stack on Old Bomb, and it's going to net them 2 frags, but not much more than that. And you look at the money for Team XENEX, they've held on to a lot of it going into these rounds. They're all sitting above 10k.
Huge amounts of money, and just as I say, Ezo hasn't been fragging too well. He picks up 3 eco frags, so he is sitting pretty on the scoreboard. I'm reading Twitch chat, Saga, to give me information about the teams. Thank you very much. So be quiet. Anyway, back to the game. I promise I'll stop getting so distracted.
They're back on full guns, but CeX, they don't have AWPs to work with. They've been proving crucial in these executes, and they're able to find some of these kills as a result of having those AWPs, but those won't be weapons that they can consider finding picks with across the map into this round. Ghosty still has his though, and he's been He's been hitting no scopes. He's been hitting quick scopes.
Yeah, he's been looking good. Managed to match Nuke Dog and Fraser. The only difference is there's two of them and only one of him. So he's got his work cut out, but he is definitely stepping up to the plate. 5 versus 5. This is the final round of the half as well, but should be XENEX's map, so they'll be definitely happy with this T side. It looks like huge amounts of utility going out onto B site. XENEX will be pushing in, but CTs are held down quite far out, but there's a lot of them there, so a lot of guns as soon as bomb goes down will be pushing up. Ash trying to sniff them out. Can't quite find him. He's pre-firing that angle to try and find Liam. Ghosty finds Fraser. James sneaks round. Gets the double spray down. Going absolutely massive. Will find Ezo as well. Now it's a 3 versus 2. It's flipped on its head. Now XENEX is on the defensive. Ghosty being sprayed down by James BT. Really stepping up big for this team. But, oh my god, Zulu! Triple! Holy goddamn. Zulu stepping up huge for a team in a 3 versus 1 situation. Clutches out.
I really wasn't sure XENEX were going to be able to pull that back. They had the sort of the plan. They had the Molotov for upper, but as soon as that smoke goes down, you kind of pull it back into the favor of CeX, right? Because the Molotov can't stop the defuse.
Yeah.
But Zulu, he just wins every gunfight, and he finds it through the smoke.
I was going to say James BT was huge that round, picking up I think 3 frags. Really got the opening for CeX, but then Zulu was like, nah mate, and swung it right back in the other way. Looks like we've actually got a game on our hands. Very contradictory to what we predicted at the start.
Well, if this is their map pick, it makes a lot of sense in the fact that when we've seen them execute onto that B bomb site, it's an absolute inferno. There's Molotovs everywhere, the smoke's going down. But if they win the map, this map on train, then it will quite literally be going to Inferno, and that's CEX's map pick.
It's kind of interesting. Oh, we're getting into a bit of conflict. I'll continue that. I'll put a pin in that thought for now. We've seen the bomb swing around towards B. But CTs are holding stand. Got to keep an eye on, is it King? Yeah, King Mezzi is pushing all the way round. Huge amounts of aggression is currently in T-spawn. I don't think CeX will clock on. They do. James BT is checking behind, just in case.
As soon as he gets to right above ladder, he should start just signaling for his teammates to go over towards the B bomb site, because he can cut off this rotation, or at least has the information as to where Rezu is. But they're hitting the B bomb site now, and King Messi, he's going to be able to find this flank onto Rezu as well. So that's the flank dealt with now. He's going to try and prove troublesome for the CEX side from behind, and he gets another kill into James BT. Has another player to deal with, but that's Fraser. He wins the gunfight. They still have the kit on the smoke, but Ghosty does fall. Ash whiffing a lot of shots. Will pick up the kit in the smoke, so he can go for that should he be able to deploy them. He throws the smoke down. He's going to feign that he's gone onto the fuse, and he's just going to hope that Fraser misses the shots. Fraser, he's not spamming through, ends up hitting the headshot through the smoke. And he comes down to the very last second there as XENEX, they're able to, they almost pull back the round, but CeX are able to edge them out.
Yeah, cutting it close there. King Mezzi definitely with the huge flank, but doesn't quite pay off for Team XENEX. CeX will pick up the round. 10-6. 3 AKs Galil, and I think that's an MP7 as well. But LS is being sprayed down, will be shut down by Ghosty. King Mezzi finds James BT with a grenade. Nuke does reply, but Ezo trying to go big. Only finds one, but the T's being pressured out massively. XENEX is having none of it. Not liking this aggression and is replying with their own. And have shut down the entrance by CeX onto the site.
This is dangerous waters for sure, because the scout, he can be trained on any one of these angles. He's basically an AWP at this point, and there he is. He's found a kill onto Fraser. It leaves an owl to Nuke Dog. He's got 10 HP and just a dream. A little in hand and 2 flashes, and I don't believe he'll be able to make too much use of these. None of these XENEX players are going to get too aggressive. They know they have the man advantage, and they definitely got the positional one as well.
Nuke Dog on his own. Does trade to the AK. But it's 10 HP in a dream. He might be better off just saving this weapon, but it looks like he's going to go for it. But we've seen first, but isn't quick enough on the draw. Nuke Dog finds 2 and Sunny. It's a 1v1. He's trying to go back to A main. I don't know if he'll expect Zulu to be here. He's going up the ladder. Head will be seen. Zulu takes him down. Being phenomenal in these clutch situations so far.
Yeah, I'd completely written off Nuke Dog, but he brought that within a 1 versus 1, so... Fair play to the man. Proves me wrong. Who needs more than 10 HP if you're just gonna completely dome both the players that you do decide to peek? But XENEX, they win the round, and so CeX, they're on to the oh so spooky CZs and Deagles.
See if they can make something happen. Oh, 1 Deag onto Ezo. Nicely done by Fraser. 5 versus 4, but no weapons picked up for the terrorist side. Still holding onto those pistols. See if they can make it happen. Only 1 player for the CT sides onto B, and he's pushing up as well, which gives the bomb site for free, but he will have the flank. That is Zulu coming from that position, but James BT is on it. Misses the first shot, but will eventually take him down. Gets traded back by Ghosty. 3 versus 4, superior weapon for XENEX. Trying to find Nuke Dog, will eventually take him down, but the team kill by Ash. No, you want to see happen. 1 versus 2. It's up to Fraser. Try and clutch this out. He goes for the AK, but Ash is on that. Shuts him down before he can pick it up, and will fall. And XENEX will go to their 12th round.
Unfortunate for Fraser. He's tried to aim down and press E on the gun, but because he's tilted down, his character slouched over and his head shows just behind the edge of the door. So he gets double dinked as a result of that. But they at least bring it pretty close. XENEX are not able to build up a nice CT side economy, and so they are able to buy an ult onto Ghosty, but he's got very little utility to help his teammates out. Just 2 flashes.
2 P250s and 3 Deagles as well for CX side. Only really had 1 strong pistol round this game, actually. The rest of the pistol rounds have been shut down pretty convincingly by XENEX. See if they can make anything happen. Ghosty being great on that AWP so far. James BT trying to make a bit of sound cues on Pop Dog. Does clip Ezo. Does eventually find him as well after Smoke goes down, and now cover his escape back into Pop Dog. See if he sticks around there or will back out.
That's a bit different from what we've seen from XENEX. They're usually a little bit more passive versus these pistols. As you said, they've been kind of respecting that CX do win a lot of these rounds. That's at least a nice way to try and right back with a kill. Ash and King Messi, they both find one. But I expect that when we get into... Oh, wow. Okay.
that's the dink, the snap. What's
Yeah,
that? That's the wall bang dink, I think. Yeah.
That's what Ghosty gets for not having head armor. He just gets completely good, and even if he's shot directly on him, not gonna do any damage because of the aim punch.
Ooh.
But Fraser and JSPT, they've both gotten kills, and they've brought into a 2 versus 2. The bomb will be planted, and this is a very winnable situation despite the minimal investment from Rezu and the rest of the CEX lineup.
It'd help a lot if Fraser could find a weapon, but I don't think any CTs died near there, so he's just gonna have to play the time trying to pull a Zulu, I'd say, in this game. But King Mez is just trying to poke them out, goes in with a Deagle, takes one, and Zulu will find the other. Zulu out-Zuluing the opponent. There we go. Got there in the end.
Yeah, but again, they lose so many weapons. At least they're able to recover the AWP, so Ghosty will still have that into this round.
And
this is where it could get scary.
It sounds simple, but when you're in a 2v2 situation like that, maybe it's gone a bit haywire. Some teams, when they're playing into the pistols, get, like, as I said, they get overly aggressive, but especially in those clutch situations, they sometimes rush because they don't want to lose to that buy or whatever, and they're very disciplined, took their time, tried to just bait the T-side players out, damage them enough to the point they could just run in and pistol them and one-tap them. So, nice to see XENEX that control. I suppose they're in the lead, but sometimes you see players just, you know, going a bit...
Yeah, they're nerves playing.
Yeah, they're like in the lead and just going bang, 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 bang. But Ezo goes aggressive and takes Fraser, taking a far more forward position on A than they usually have in these CT rounds. But it'll pay off. Ezo finds 2 this time. Smoke grenade goes out. And this is map 1. Rezu replies onto King, backs off before Ghost can find him, but the smoke is in the way covering the exit. Ooh! Through the smoke. Ghosty, chill, my dude. He's been on it this half. This game, in fact, but Newtog will eventually find him. 2 versus 3.
And Nuke Dog's completely isolated now. James BT is trying to wrap back around through Ivy because he's got the bomb on his back and he knows that Nuke Dog's cleared out most of the Ivy position. He's repositioned now, but he's found another kill onto Zulu. He's brought into a 2 versus 2. James BT now, with this late timing, will find another frag as well. Ash to fall, and now it's just falling to Ezo. Has to win it out 1 versus 2, but unable to do so. James BT and Nuke Dog, they step up massively, both getting 2 kills in that 2 versus 4. And XENEX, they'll be a little bit chuffed that they've lost that round, considering the advantage that they got very early on into that round off the aggression of Ezo.
As very well played by CeX. Still punching in, even when they've got a fair round deficit, but their economy's looking a bit bad. But if they're expected to win this round, so it should set them up not too bad if they can string together a couple more. So if the score eventually does tie up, they should be good. Not in a position where they lose 1 round and that's it. Their economy's ruined for the rest of the game. But
It's a bit awkward.
Yeah, but it's reliant on them winning, like, I'd say, at least the next 2 rounds. I'd say just to give themselves a bit of a cushion to fall back on. But there's not many rounds left if XENEX does take a couple off their hands.
I see CX, they're playing really slow because they know that they shouldn't have the best of buys into this round because they know they did a lot of damage in the previous save or pistol rounds that CX did have. So they're looking for the aggression from XENEX to see if they're gonna just take a bit of a gamble, try and make a play. And it doesn't seem like anybody on the side of XENEX will do so. They are stacked up a little bit over towards this B-bomb side, however.
The timing on that, he was aiming right down there. He could have got a double spray down. Turns around at the last second to check the other angle. And will get punished for it. CX playing very slow, very methodically. Nice shot by Fraser. Takes down King. 3 versus 5. No casualties yet for CX. This is the perfect round for them. This is exactly what they want. No economic damage to their economy. But at the same time, taking out as many CTs as possible. It's not even just the economic damage. It's they just do not want these AKs to fall into Team XENEX's hands. If they're to string together any win later on in the round, they cannot give any benefits to the economy.
And they don't want to lose out any of these players. And XENEX, they've just lost one of their pistols in this. I believe he did time out. Just disappeared from the map like a ghost. Spirited away. And XENEX are at least able to hold onto the CZ and scout into this one. And this becomes a little bit awkward because then they're sort of in a position where they could reinvest into this round, sort of half buy around the scout and CZ, which could mean that they have very limited utility going into a proper gun round. And so I kind of hope that Team XENEX don't fall into that trap.
Yeah, I was going to say I completely agree with you on that. So, like, you see it even on top level CS's teams go, oh, we got 13 rounds win, let's just force buy. But the 99% of the time, the correct decision is just to eco it, save your money, and have a full buy next round.
Yeah, I think that was a stat from HLTV. It's like the amount of force buy round wins is like 30% on average or something.
It's not as it's a lot of it is so much up to like the reliance on it is just having decent enough weaponry to grab a gun off the enemy, but especially if you're facing a team like CX fully stacked up with AKs, that's not going to work against a side like this. I say that, but Ash takes down Nuke Dog. Might be able to find Rez as well. Goes for the repeat. Goes very low. Molotov throwing out. And Ash will burn in the flames. James BT picking up Zulu as well. For the double. 2 versus 4.
Connector. They can find a kill because of this. James BT is the first one to get taken down. King Messi gets the kill. And he's fallen off the boost now, but they're repositioning back up for it. King Messi is going to try and jump back up, but they're expecting it this time. Rezu will dispatch of him. Ezo will run away and try and hold on to his USP, the Road Rash.
So, best of a bad situation really here. They've lost 2 players. but at least none of the AKs have fallen into the hands of ESEA. Choosing to save his Road Rash USP.
Yeah, it's a good job from Frazier as well. He knows that ESEA might try and position himself such that once the bomb does go off, he can run in towards this bomb site and get an AK. So he's got a little bit of a presence of mind to bring one of those AKs towards T-Con, so that if he did try and reposition, it'll be further and further away. It's less likely that he has an AK going into this round.
And now because of that eco, despite not being able to pick up the AK at the end of the round, despite, with that eco, it means they can fall by full utility as well. This round, 1 AWP coming out for Ghosty. Not opting for the double up. I don't know if they had enough money for it. CeX not choosing to upgrade any of their weaponry either, so they're looking for that economy to support them in later rounds, just in case XENEX managed to pull back this one. Not choosing to upgrade anything. AKs, of course, deadly weaponry anyway. But they've proved fairly effective these last few rounds for CeX. See if they can make anything happen. It's weird seeing... Oh, Ghostly! Again, finds another player. ESEA replies into Nuke Dog, and this is looking dire for CeX. Eco into the gun round, looking really good for XENEX. 3 for nothing at the moment, but very low health bars for the XENEX side. Fraser pushing round. We'll find ESEA out in the open. James BT replies as well into Mezzi. 2 for nothing. Reply 3 for nothing. James BT going absolutely massive, is looking for some more. But it will be Fraser, the one going aggressive. Jumps on top. Zulu's not expecting it. 1 versus 2. And this could be pulled back for CeX. This is disastrous for XENEX. They had such a good opening. Fraser and James BT just sweeping it up. 3k for Fraser. 2 kills for James BT. Very well played for CeX side. XENEX, what happened?
They had the bad advantage. They're all taking individual gunfights, and they're just unable to land the trade frags either. I think James BT got double peeked, but one of them just completely whiffed on him. Fraser had a nice play though. He jumped up, he didn't expose himself, and managed to get that kill from back bomb. But yeah, that's a shambolic round from XENEX. They're forced back onto pistols as a result of that.
I feel the comms were, we've killed 3 of them. Let's walk in one by one. I think that was something along the lines of their shot calling right there, because that's the only way I can see something like that happening. We have such a huge advantage and throw it away for CeX. Ooh, nice by King. I was going to say is having none of it into these pistols, not risking anything, but saying that King then picks up a frag. So we 1 for 1. James BT coming around. Looks away at the last second. Will come out on top from Zulu. Looks like the bomb is going to be rotating to the B site, and B site is completely open as well. No shot through smoke this time by any of the by Fraser or any of the authors. James BT going very, very low. CT is forced to rotate and not the weaponry for a retake either. This is going to be very difficult for Team XENEX.
Ash should find himself an AWP though. He's going to find Fraser in the back. He's actually going to thought about the knife, I think, but instead got the quick 2 dinks and has the ult now on his back. And this round is falling apart for CeX. XENEX, they've done so well with the P250s in hand. One of them will just start to stick to the fuse. It's not planted for LS or Liam, and he'll get the first frag, but has to find the follow-ups. Gets the second onto ESEA, has to peek quickly and finds onto Ash.
I was going to say CeX was doing their best XENEX impression. Having the man advantage, then completely throwing it away. But
well, it's interesting as well because the player that had the AWP, I think, was the one that decided to stick the bomb. And instead of one of these players that did have a P250 and not much they could really do with it. Surely if they posted up on the angle where they expect maybe LS could be, then the AWP could play massively into the round. But it's all hypothetical. So XENEX, they did lose the round regardless, and CeX have brought it back within 2, 13-11 now, the current scoreline, with a double up setup on both sides right now. Nuke Dog, Frazier, Ghosty, and ESEA, the AWPers around the map.
I haven't seen ESEA AWP too much this game. But we'll see if he can live up to Ghosty's... Sorry, ESEA hasn't been AWPing too much this game. I don't know if I said ESEA or Ghosty, I'm getting confused. But Ghosty has been the one who's been the staple for the XENEX side. Might be the linchpin to keep them still in this game. Because it looks like it might be slipping through their fingers. They just got to relax. What you're saying about how the AWPer shouldn't be the one defusing, that could be down to communication issues, not having the rest of the players not going, oh, this player's got the AWP, he should be watching us or whatever.
I don't even know that he knew he had an AWP, to be quite honest. He didn't even consider switching to it once in the exchange. Ghosty, he's showing why you should be using the AWP. He's gotten 2 with it. He's gotten a 3rd as well. He's managed to creep behind Liam. And he's going to creep even further into Olaf. James BT, he's lost track of him completely. Ghosty, he's trapped it inside of Olaf. And he's going to find the backstab onto James BT as well. He's going on for the ace. Frazier, he knows where he is now. He's going to try his best to not give it up to him. But he's in a 1 versus 3 now. Spots him at the last second. That's the bomb to recover as well. And with 14 seconds remaining, this is so difficult. King Mezzi will be the one to dispatch of him. But a great individual performance by Ghosty and CEX. They're losing players. Ghosty is acting like a ghost. He's walking through walls. He's dodging corners, and they're not spotting.
I like how we go. We haven't seen Ezo use the AWP much this game. Gets picked up immediately, and Ghost is like, well, you know, just give me 4 in a row. It's fine. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take them all on. Doing absolutely phenomenally well this game. Really stepping up huge into the likes of Nuke Dog and Fraser and the other team. And CX is suddenly in the defensive there. Economy not looking strong. They're gonna have to. They have to win this round. Otherwise, it's almost as good as done for CX.
They're trying to change things up a little bit. CX here though. They're sitting behind the smoke on lower ramp. They're trying to feign some nades over towards B. And only 1 set of utility being thrown initially, but that second flash should start ringing some bells for the XENEX side. The first one does fall at his Zulu, but he's gotten 1. Bomb does get dropped, and Frazier, he's found another follow-up kill into King Mezzi. He's trying to hunt for more. He's trying to win back this round for the CEX side. He's pushed up quite far in Ghosty. He's trained on the angle. He spots the gun barrel of Ghosty. Ghosty will not fall back as a result. Frazier's the only one that's fighting for the CEX side. Everybody else holding passive angles, allowing him to take first contact and get the information for the CEX side. And XENEX, they've completely backed out of the situation. They know that they don't have the position. They don't have a good enough weapon on Ash as well. And they will save into this round, valuing their economy instead, trying to avoid getting reset. The CEX, they'll push to a 12th.
And that is the win condition for CEX. They had to win that round. Did pull it off. Fraser will fall. They're trying to take out those AWPs. Trying to damage this XENEX's economy as much as possible. Doesn't pay off though, but CX will be fine. If they can win probably 1 more round, push it to 14-13, they should have enough money to sustain them if they do end up dropping another one. But we'll see. Still staring down the barrel of 2 AWPs. Not going to be fun to deal with. Especially when one of them is Ghosty, who not just a couple of rounds ago, absolutely decimated your team on his own.
And I think CX have kind of recognized that the double up setup is not really, it's been sort of A-side heavy. They've been playing that one of these AWPs in connector and one of them over towards like Ivy or kind of stop sign middle of bomb to get a pick into towards the A bomb side, and they've instead opted for a little bit more of a B-side heavy presence. That said, CX, they're set up into a passive default into this round, making sure that XENEX don't get too aggressive. They know that Ash has a UMP still, but it's be the right call to stop him making any ridiculous plays with that weapon.
CX hold, and flash goes in. Nuke Dog peeks and finds Ash. Ghosty tries to find the trade. Does eventually find it. I think he was flashed in as well. Ghosty just finding kills left, right, and center. But Nuke Dog tries to fight back. Ghosty is having none of it. After he takes him down, Ghosty will get caught out. James BT being absolutely massive for his team. Sneaking around and see if Ezo can channel his inner ghost. Make something happen. Rezu takes down Zulu. Ezo does take James BT, but he's choosing to save the AWP, I think, or is he choosing to go for this?
He's hoping that somebody was close enough to hear the sound cue of him jumping back through connector, I believe, so that he could try and punish the aggression and maybe go for it. But since nobody will peek him, he's now going to go to save. He holds on to a good bit of utility. Kit, Molotov, 2 flashes, as well as that AWP on his back. So long as Rezu doesn't find him in the back, he's running around and he's going to turn the wrong way at the wrong time. Ezza will be able to save, sitting in summit. They're back within 1.
14-13, looking like a very close game. XENEX, after coming out the gates, screaming, is being slowly pulled in by CeX, who's crawling their way back into this. Within touching distance now, 14-13. Full buy for CeX, of course. Only an ult for XENEX. Choosing to put it on Ezo, not Ghosty. Interesting decision.
Oh, he's the one who saved it. He has the armor as well, so...
I suppose so, that does make sense. I take it back. Sorry. I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
It's the Claret. Oh, the gun barrel. He's going to spot him out, but he's not going to land this shot. They almost line up perfectly. Frazier gets both of those kills on the lower ramp, and that will push them into the B bomb side. But King Mezzi, he's done a lot of damage with that USP. Found 2 dinks onto separate players. Ash will be able to convert one of those kills as a result. Nuke Dog's the one to fall in. Spam through. They're both so low. The USP to the AK could prove massive in this. LS, all that remains, 4 HP. The bomb is not planted for him as well. He's trying to hide. He's trying to weasel his way around this this train, and it's become so difficult. The Molotov should be close enough to stop the defuse, should have been happening, but it's actually not going to spread the way they want. Ghosty will find the kill eventually, and they'll get the defuse as a result. Those USPs and the damage done. XENEX, they put it into map point, or match point?
Map point, or match.
Yeah, but they bring it to 15.
Yeah. Match point, map point. It'll be series point if they win, if they get to 15 in the next map.
Yeah.
I think. Assuming they win this. But CeX is not going to go down without a fight. Still got to go into... they can't... XENEX can't decide who's their secondary AWPer, it appears. King Mezzi this time going to have a go. See if we can do what Ezo couldn't. He might be about to be greeted by Rezu. Don't think anything came of it. Did hear the shot ring out, but nothing connected. James BT spreading. Ooh.
I think LS has actually been spammed twice now.
It's like, how dare you? You can see him go,
Just-
what the hell?
It's just rude. Man's trying to hold a default, he's getting spammed. It's not a good time.
New Dog using the Molotov just to push out any CTs who might have pushed up into Ivy. But no one will be seeing King Mezzi. Another shot rings out, but nothing will be found. LS chipped very low from those 2 wallbang shots. UMP in hand. So I suppose it's not a great issue for him to be that low, assuming his weaponry, but CeX don't want to play. He's getting picked up again to 23 HP, see if he can make anything happen, and he's just sprayed down.
This is the last-ditch effort from CeX. They're trying to run into the B-bomb, so they've got no utility to work with. They're just trying to run in, get the frag, get the bomb down, and pushed into a 2 versus 4 now. They need to find big frags. James BT is going to try, but he's going to miss out on the attempt. Ghosty still stays healthy on 68 HP, and they've now doubled up in the same after plant position. Surely there's no way that they're able to pull this one back, as this is not an ideal situation for them. Frazier is able to get the trade, but Ezo dispatches of him rather swiftly. XENEX, they pick up the first map.
Yeah, very well played XENEX, but I think Simi is their map. Shouldn't have been this close. They looked so good going into this, but CeX just came out of nowhere with some spectacular performances. But it wasn't enough in the end. CeX held their nerve. Sorry, not CeX. XENEX held their nerve and managed to just about bring it across the finish line.
Yeah, I believe they have like a 5-round separation at one point, and then things started to get a little bit spooky. CeX started to make the comeback. I started to believe. And then XENEX, they pull it back together. I think, especially off that round that Ghosty had with the 4K with the AWP, that really threw a spanner in the works for how CeX wanted to compose that comeback. So we will be moving on to Inferno, which should be CX's pick, and that means they should start on the T side, depending on how XENEX want to start the map. They could even opt to start on the T side.
We need to restart CS, don't we? Is that what you said?
I don't believe so. So if you're missing any of the weapons, then yeah, you might need to restart CS. But the map should change with the same.
Are they? Okay, so they're staying in the same server then.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, that's awesome. I'm just gonna see if I can bring up. There we go. I just want to bring up something that both Yumi and I are doing later on this month. Just bear with me 1 second, and I shall find it. We of course got the opportunity to cast Epic 24, but through the guys at Epic Land, they've offered us this fantastic opportunity to cast the Epic Land CS:GO Championship. You'll be casting the Glasgow one, won't you?
Yes, so I'll be at Glasgow and at Reading with you.
This one, 11th of August. Make sure you watch it. Support Yumi. Don't worry about the teams. Support Yumi. You know, cheer him on. But both Yumi and I will be at the Reading one. So far, CX has actually qualified. They qualified at the Newcastle qualifier, and Team Endpoint as well, the other qualifier from Manchester, and then Wind and Rain from Coventry. So make sure you check out that when it's on. So 11th of August, 19th of August, write it in your calendars if anybody still has calendars in this day and age. If not, if you use your phone, write it in your phone. Just make sure you're there. Be there or be square.
Yeah, the 11th and the 19th. The 19th even more crucially so, because it's both of us.
Yeah, it's like you get the wonderful Yumi, and then you get that little sometimes annoying cherry on the top, which is me. So make sure you're there. It'll be awesome. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Taking it seriously, of course, because it is, you know, big event, but at the same time, it's UKCS, so there's that slight meme quality to it. You know.
And also, if you are interested in attending, these are both events that you can still sign up for, I believe. So if you're in the area and you can find a mix together, or you can even try messaging in the Epic Land Discord, if you can find that, then you can attend one of these games and maybe just put up an LFC post, say that you're just a player that wants to participate. It's only £10 to participate. If you live in the area, then that's perfect.
Just as a thing, I'm pretty sure because it is sponsored by
you need to be 18 plus.
Casinos, you've got to be 18 plus. So don't sign up, give your money, and then it turns out you can't play. Make sure you read up on the terms and conditions and rules first. Would hate for you guys to sign up and then be like, oh crap, our best player, he's 17 or something and can't play. So they will be strict on those kind of things. But if you're 18, come watch. If you're not 18, then watch online. Come join us. We'll greatly appreciate it. Anyway, this is the game we are currently spectating. Team XENEX versus CeX. Team XENEX taking the first map. It was Train, as you can see by the pause CSGO in the background.
Yeah, I think this could take a little bit before we get into Inferno. So, potential opportunity just to take 5.
Yeah, what I'll do is
relax, and then
I'll throw it over. Yeah, I'll throw it over to a break for a couple of minutes. Give me a chance to fill up my glass of water, so I don't, you know, my throat doesn't become like the Sahara Desert during the second game. And we shall see you in, should we say, in 3 minutes, something like that? Or do you think it'll be a bit longer than that?
Anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes, I'd imagine.
5 to 7 minutes. Okay, running on UK time today. All right. Yeah. So I shall see you guys shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 2 of CeX versus Team XENEX. I am Novi and I'm of course joined by the wonderful YouM3. How you doing, my dude?
Doing good. I'm ready for a good second map of Counter-Strike. Train, it was real close. Had some good individual performances. Some people stepped up. Some people perhaps didn't show up quite how they would have anticipated. But it seems they're a lot closer than we would have first thought. Of course, that was XENEX's map pick, and this is now CEX's. And looking at the third map as well, which should be Overpass. So if CEX do win this, it would go to Overpass, and we've seen strong. Yeah, exactly. We've seen very strong performances from CEX on Overpass as well. Granted, they did lose to, I think, Radix and Friends in the finals of Epic 24 on that map. That was the map where they constantly won on pistols and not on rifles. So it'll be an interesting one because I don't know too much about how XENEX like to play their Overpass.
Yeah, definitely so. That's one of the things for us is we're going in kind of blind. Kinda, in essence. We've seen CeX before, we've casted them before, so we know what they're like, what maps they like, usually how they play, like their strengths and pistol rounds, sorry. But XENEX is kind of this unknown fact. So we have to draw from last game, and some of the things they did really well was the measured aggression on both CT and T side, just being able to tactically get information, bait out CTs or Ts, and then just all committing to one objective all at once. But CeX in that game started to close it about a bit, but we're seeing huge explosion by CeX onto the B site. Is this live? Is this game live?
Yeah, it's
just
live.
Double checking before I start casting someone, which is necessary. XENEX is on the back foot here, trying to find picks. Finds Fraser. 3 versus 3 now. Turn it around. Ghosty about to have a player jump in his head like it's Mario, having none of it. Gets taken down, but Zulu replies, and Rosie will get picked up. So that'll be XENEX taking the pistol round. Not much to say about that. I think CeX weren't expecting to drop a man that early on their push and not get anything in return.
I mean, it was a great initial pick from CeX, but they were unable to find that crucial second player in the B bomb site. It didn't allow them to sort of scale up into good after plants or very forward after plants. Typically, what you'll see in rounds like that, where they're able to get both of the B bomb site players, is that they're able to push into construction. The CTs have to clear out so many more angles, and it takes them a bunch more time to do so. But because that player stays alive for as long as he did, XENEX, they're able to have decent after plants to come back on that retake, and CeX, they fall short. But James PT, he's put a Nova, and he's done a lot of damage onto Ash. He's done 95 and 1. The Nova has now been dropped, but they may find that kill onto Ash through the smoke. Liam has recovered the Nova, has the bomb on his back, will get the plant, has the Nova in hand, will push through. What?
Just fire a shot, goddammit!
Not quite the sheriff in town, as the Nova doesn't get too much done. An interesting buy by James VT for sure. And I'd like to think that was a misbuy, considering the rest of the CeX lineup didn't buy really much of anything into the round. James VT will be a little bit short going into this one, but he does have an AK.
Has an AK. UMP for Rezu though, so not the greatest buy they want, but they are going to 2 for masses, so it's kind of, despite it only being on the third round, it's kind of even either way. The eco paying off CeX.
Yeah, both those bomb plants definitely help as well going into this fight. But
nice one, Zulu. Throw a grenade at a wall. What has that wall have done to you? That's what it's done. Caused this kind of conflict. King Messi going absolutely massive. Takes down 3 players. And now shut down CeX for this round. See if LS can make anything happen, but I highly doubt it. Bomb is in a precarious position. Does find Ghosty is pushing up, but I don't think he'll expect King to be in that position.
Well, because Messi got all 3 of the kills on Banana earlier, he knew that there was going to be one more player top Banana. Tries to fall back, but Ezzo is waiting, arms extended, a nice little hug, and XENEX will get that third round on the board, forcing CeX back onto another sort of quasi-pistol. Just, it's a scary buy still, but it's not really a buy worth talking about because CeX do this so often.
See if they can make these CZs work. I say that, but it's completely shut down. As though expecting the aggression by CeX, and nothing will come of it. We'll find Ghosty. But it'll be like shooting fish in a barrel. They all stand around the edge of the tunnel and take them all out. Nothing will come out of it.
And they still have not opted for an open Fraser, which is an interesting decision. Considering he is quite... I've seen him up on this map and he's very good at doing so and finding picks for the CeX side, but maybe just trying to get things rolling with the AK, see if they can't overpower the XENEX players to start. There is an AWP on Ghosty, who is now peering into middle, trying to find one of the CeX players on the cross and maybe lazily running on through, but none of these players will do so just yet.
Utility sitting pretty for both sides. One of those maps where holding onto that utility can do absolute wonders, give you so many options when it gets later in the round. If you use it too fast, then you're kind of stuffed on either side, actually. In fact, we're seeing both teams being very refrained in their usage, only using it when they think absolutely necessary. See if anything actually happens anytime soon. It looks like the bomb's gonna swing towards A, but there's plenty of time to swing back. We'll see players push into apartments. 4 players now for the terrorist. CeX pushing through. Rezu in boiler room. Swings out. Flash to guide him. Got a teammate behind him trying to cover him. Molotov goes down into pit. Pushes the player out, and it'll be a full rotation round to B. Running round, they've got a player pushing up. Nuke Dog finds the entry, and that will leave 1 CT on the B site. Players on A are holding strong. We'll have to rotate now. Getting lag?
Yeah, I'm also experiencing the same thing, it seems.
Right.
They're all currently moonwalking onto the B-bomb site.
As the clock ticks down.
Yeah, I don't know that the server is going to recover.
What? Right.
Certainly an interesting way this round was going to end out. I wasn't anticipating this one. So we'll see if we can try and recover this, but I don't know if there's anything that we can do personally to get this fixed.
GoTV reconnecting. We'll wonder if it's... I wonder if it's GoTV or if it's the actual server side. I presume it's server side.
This is 100% server issue. If we're both experiencing the same thing, then...
Not Valve just, like, dying suddenly.
No, yeah.
Just, like, screeching out Gabe Newell at his chair with his... He's got a collection of knives, if no one knows that. And he's just sitting there with his knives all in his wall.
There's a wire once in a while.
Leaning back in his chair going... Pressing a button which just is, like, labelled mess with people who are watching CES. CES? CS. Or CEX, for that matter. Exciting gameplay, as you can see.
Let's see if retrying does anything.
Can't hurt.
I'm just testing that.
Let's see if it does anything.
Yeah, as far as predictions on that round, it seemed like things were going to go well for CeX. They got pretty far up onto the bomb site. Nuke Dog, he was pushing forward. He dodged the flash to construction. And I'd like to think that he probably got that kill as well.
And it's what I was saying about that utility usage is they saved enough of their utility late into that round, so when they did throw it, they had plenty spare to then rush around to B and then make sure that they could flash their players out and smoke off any approaching CTs. So good on them.
The GoTV is still very frozen.
Right. I was gonna say, do you have any of the players on?
Nah, I don't think we can do that in ESEA. It doesn't quite work like that.
Right.
I believe it'd be the same. Yeah, so that's a bit unfortunate to say the least.
Feels bad, man. No, I was just wondering if you had any of the players in Steam or something, you could ask them. But I suppose they're busy. It's probably best not to bother them.
No, I mean, like, we wouldn't be able to pull an IP or anything from them. They're still playing the game out. Like, the server is still working,
right?
Gameplay wise, but I think
the
Go TV for it.
I could try reconnect. Would restarting CS work? Anybody got any options?
It won't do anything. So, right. Yeah, it's truly sad days.
That is a very sucky end. So they're playing out the rest of this game. This is just Go TV just crying itself to sleep.
Yeah, it's just decided that it doesn't want to operate anymore.
So is Gabe Newell pressing that mess with CS casters button? He's got binded to his keyboard. I
don't think it's a personal issue of himself. If you want, you could try and throw to a break, and I'll see if I can message somebody at ESEA, but I don't know that it'll pull any results.
Yeah, might as well. We'll throw it over to a break, and hopefully we can get something sorted, and we'll get back to the action. So it looks, this is CX's picks, although XENEX has the lead so far into this game. It should be quite an exciting match. Yeah. Anyway, we'll throw it over to a break, and hopefully we can get something sorted for you guys soon. Otherwise, yeah, let's hope for the best. We'll see you guys hopefully in a bit.
Oh yeah, I'm connected. It works. The ESEA admin has helped me out massively. Illuminati, what a boy. No, yeah, I'll radio it. So Zulu, he's picked up banana. He's it's a 3v4 now as Zulu takes down James BT. They've tried to poke into the B-bomb site, but they're unable to do so successfully. Nuke Dog, though, he's crept up over towards Pit, and he's killed King Mezzi. It's now on to Zulu and Ash to try and bring things back for XENEX, but Ash gets absolutely clicked down. Zulu, now all that remains, he still sits in Banana, and he's now running the T-spawn to save this AK, a Molotov, a smoke, a flash, and a frag grenade. Well, that round that we did lag out on, we were saying it looked really good for CeX. They did actually win that round, so good on them. Zulu found a nice timing to take down Rezu. Rezu will be a little bit upset because Frazier was on the other side of that hallway. But yeah, CeX, they get a second round on the board, and now they need to crucially avoid being reset because that money bonus has been sort of sustaining them into these buys so far, and if they lose this one, it'll be sad times. They'll be back on 1400 as their loss bonus, and that's not a good place to be. And he's found the timing. Zulu, he's pulled out a nade as the smoke's begun to fade, and Nuke Dog killed dispatch of him. Take the V-bomb site. The timing is so sad for Zulu. Yeah, so far outside of the second round for XENEX, they've only kept 3 or 2 alive in every single one of the rounds that they've won. So, yeah, they're not able to build that economy that's so crucial on the CT side.
That is a good point. I was muted. Cheers, Nick. I wouldn't have noticed. You're just having a lot of dead air because yeah, I was talking and it wasn't coming through Streamlabs.
Oh yeah,
I'm a professional.
I wouldn't have noticed because I've got the stream muted. So.
Cheers, Nick. You actually saved my life there. Shout out to him.
XENEX, they're going for a bit of a boost over the half wall in the top of Banana. They're anticipating the XENEX or CX though. They've jiggle peeked the angle, and ESEA nets nothing as a result. In fact, Ash takes a lot of damage as a result of a nade. A Molotov will separate that player at the top of Banana. Ash will be left high and dry, but there's only one player on the CX side over here, and that is Frazier. He's thrown a smoke to feign some aggression over towards B. Meanwhile, the rest of the CX lineup, they've made it their way up towards A. They're going up long, and there's only one player that'll stop them, and that's King Mezzi, but he's been so good so far. 2 kills for him, 3 actually onto Nuke Dog. He's brought into a winnable situation for the XENEX side now. It's a 3v2, and the bomb is dropped relatively close. But Frazier goes down in middle as well. It's now on James BT. He has to win this out 1 versus 3, and ESEA might find the timing if he pushes through the smoke, but opting for a bit of a safer play instead. James BT is going to be trying to lurk around and see if he can spot one of these players. Zulu's holding the angle with the AWP, and XENEX, they win the round back despite not really buying much into it.
Yeah, and CX looks so good, and then suddenly it just seems to fall apart every now and again. They need to, as we said, they need to be stringing together these rounds. Although XENEX is, because they've managed to find the frags, they're putting huge casualties into the XENEX side forcing to rebuy these weapons, but they just can't quite close it out. And the thing is, XENEX is just a war of attrition. Ezo takes down James BT, and eventually XENEX will close out this match if CeX don't get their act together. Not going to do that. Walking through smoke. I think he's flashed through, but XENEX actually was on point with that, but Rezu finds the double. Zulu and Ghosty fall, and it's 3 versus 3. Decent utility on the other side. Ash trying to find Rezu, but nothing comes up. Will rotate into Ruins. Goes for the wall bang. It is not fruitful though. Tries to wide peek. We'll find Rezu in the open. 2 versus 3. Up to CeX on the disadvantage, but they are in a fairly decent position with the setup. They've got that AWP who, if he gets just the timing right, can find these picks, but they are looking to Fraser. Ooh! King Mezzi falls down. It's up to Ez on his own. Didn't AWP at all that well on the last last game. See if he can make something special happen. He's opting to smoke it out and just go for the save. That's probably the right decision, especially with how, as we were saying, how damaged their economy is getting as it's going on to this game. Very well done for CeX for staying cool and composed even when suddenly looks like they're getting into a dire situation. They seem a bit on the ropes.
Yeah, and so far these B-site players for the XENEX side have been proving very, very strong. I mean, Zulu and King Mezzi, they're both sitting on 13 frags. They're both the people bomb site defenders for the XENEX side. So even if it's going into an A side retake, even if they're going B, these players are trying their best to shut them down, and we're seeing a bit more of the same as a 2-for-1 exchange on the top of Bananas. XENEX able to net 2 frags, and the only one to fall is Ash. Both of those players are low though. Ghosty and Zulu both sit at around 40 HP.
And is tidying up. Liam is being a good boy, making sure there's no mess around Banana. Fraser causing mess, splatters Ezo onto the wall, takes him down. 3 versus 3. And Tees will show their aggression towards A. King on his own, left into pit, but will get picked up by James BT, and CeX looks to close out this round. I highly doubt XENEX on the HP they're on will go for this. Will look instead to save their weaponry.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. This is a easy save call for the XENEX side. They're just going to hold the bottom of Banana, try and bait for each other. I think Ghosty's in a position where if somebody does peer around over towards that left side, they should be able to spot the gun barrel of the AWP. Should net Zulu an easy frag should that happen. But none of these CX players are they're not gonna hunt. So
yeah, staying rather quiet. Probably like they keep on winning around and losing around, so their economy keeps on getting reset. So it's a smart decision, I think, for them as well, not to hunt and risk losing their weaponry, especially Fraser with the AWP. We're saying how XENEX has Zulu and King, as you can see, fragging very well. CeX isn't really having any players stand out this game. They're all fragging pretty consistently. It's just XENEX, have that added firepower from Zulu and King this game. And we haven't seen the player I really want to see last time I remember is Nuke and Fraser being absolutely lethal on this map. But I think with the AWPs, they're a lot stronger and more confident with them on CT side. So when it swaps over, we'll see if they can repeat that performance. Slow peek legs Ghosty, but Ghosty gets the better of him. 7 HP, will fall back with his grenade. Kobe, Nuke takes him down. 4 versus 4.
A great 1-2 punch from the CEX side. Fraser, despite going down, is able to still have impact in the round as Nuke converts that with the frag grenade, but Nuke, he's still looking to try and prod into this B bomb site. He's been able to do so successfully a number of times so far, but Ash does have an AWP trained on that location, so if Nuke tries to do anything too sneaky, tries to walk out onto the B bomb site, Ash should get an easy enough kill. We'll see if they set up with a flash. Rezu, he's in a position where he can throw a smoke over towards CT, as well as flash for Nuke, should that be the plan. It seems like CeX, they are doubling back. Rezu will now deploy the flash. Nuke Dog should now be able to go through, but gets taken down regardless of Ash being blind. So a 3 versus 4 as the bomb should get planted here for the CEX side. The XENEX players now rotating in through both Banana and CT. CEX have a lot to do, especially James BT holding this flank as he's going to have 2 players coming his way.
James BT managed to find 1, finds 2. 2 versus 3.
And XENEX, they're just going to save now.
Yeah, that was very well played by CeX. Kind of unlucky for XENEX. It looked like it was going their way, but of course they didn't have much in the way of weaponry to start that game. One of the things which was really interesting was when Ghosty got picked off by the frag grenade. His position would have been, if he'd gotten shot down there instead of frag grenaded, that would have been great for CeX. Round would have been done. Because of the grenade, actually, where he died and where the AWP ended up, the AWP ended up right over into CT, which meant Ash could pick it up suddenly and went from having a USP to an AWP. And I think it kind of messed up CEX's plans a bit. They were kind of unfortunate the round went the way it did, because actually that frag grenade taking down Ghosty was almost a blessing in disguise, I think. If he'd gone taken down any earlier, they wouldn't have been able to recover that weapon and definitely wouldn't have it in this round.
Yeah, and I think you even saw Nuke Dog kind of like sitting around waiting to hear footsteps to see if one of those players would try and recover the AWP. But it was not to be. Instead, they'll push through the banana smoke. There's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. Ezo answers back as well with another kill onto Nuke Dog, and they're going to still hold on to this XENEX. The CEX, they're going to try and go somewhere else on the map. They're taking mid instead. They're going to go up towards A. Mezzi, he gets 2, sitting from the great position, but James BT answers with 2 of his own.
Zulu wins out on him, and that'll be the half. 9-6 this time XENEX. Was it the same score last? No, it was 10-5 last game. So CeX looking a little better, but still not too great. This is their map choice, but when it
we expect CeX will have a better CT side than their
definitely, because if they can support their economy enough to get that double AWP setup that we praise them so highly on and train, it'll be even more terrifying on this map with the narrow choke points going along banana and of course top of A as well. So
XENEX have looked very good on their T side, especially when they were playing on train. They had the executes down, they had their timings down as a team, so it might be selling them a little bit short here. They could very well 2-0 this series.
They could, but it's also this isn't their. They've looked strong on it, but this isn't their map choice. And whether their executes are up to par on train, we'll have to see. But I think if XENEX plays the way they're doing, they should be able to take this out. But we could see a repeat of last game where it gets incredibly close. Going to change out of that camera angle. None of that on stream. This is a Christian stream. Thank you very much, Zulu.
Lewd.
God, rude people. So, going to this pistol round. XENEX on T side, CeX on CT. See,
I'm interested a little bit to see who picks up the kit. It looks like it'll be Rezu.
Yeah. I don't think anything else, unless Fraser buys any utility, or he might just buy cover. He's choosing to buy cover as well, so no utility for the CTs, but frag, flash, and smoke for King Mezzi on the T side. Will we see? We're more likely to see a more aggressive play in the pistol round.
This is a B rush just based on the nades. King Mezzi, he's throwing the nade top banana to try and end himself some early damage. He's throwing the smoke CT and he's flashed over towards B, but James BT is the one to get the first kill. Ghosty's the one to fold. Now that both these CTs are in the same position, they should be able to trade off one another, but Rezu and James BT both fold. That's the kit now down in construction, and the CX players might not be able to get to this. They're all rotating in through Banana. Ezo's found another kill, and despite 2 players peeking him, they're not able to find the frag, at least not initially, as Ezo does now fold, but into a 2-on-2 after plant where Nuke Dog sits on 1 HP.
Looking very close, King. Hear the footsteps, finds Nuke Dog. Just Fraser on his own, caught between a rock and a hard place. And it looks like he might be scissors in this battle because King Mezzi is looking to crush him, but he will find the headshot. Got 10 seconds left, didn't pick up the kit. Now it's up to Ash, baits out the shots and knows he's faking it. I don't think he has time anymore. He will be backing off and Ash will go to the kill. See if he can pick it off. Rock crushes scissors.
You saw how unexpected Fraser was 100% expecting him to run through construction because that's the only way that Ash gets out of that situation alive.
Yeah.
But instead, he gets shot from behind and Fraser's just left scratching his head like, what? Why wouldn't you try and take the armor going into the next round or anything of that sort? But
don't question his decisions.
Yeah, he won the round, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if it looks stupid but it works, it's not stupid. Amen on that. Actually, don't quote me on that. That's not, yeah, that's not true. Not sure that is not true at all.
Yeah, it was all looking fine until you hit me with the amen.
Ooh, nice shot by Ash and Ghosty, collectively taking down James BT. Edo just jumps up, so Ellis heard him. Don't know if he heard the jump back down. So he might just hold this angle. CeX, as we said, is deadly on these pistols. It doesn't look like anything will come of it until now. Fraser finds Ezo out, sitting between the 2 houses. Ellis picks up Zulu as well. That stays too long in the open. Nuke Dog trades back 2 for 3, and if the CTs can pick up some weaponry, this is very doable for the CTs, especially as Fraser's rotated round, but the timing. Here's a grenade's pushing around, so he's going to play from top instead. Rezo gets burnt through with a MAC-10 just spraying him down. Great against these unarmed opponents, especially if they can hit the headshot. Nuke Dog now pushing around with a Galil. Takes down King, and now Ghosty is left in a 1 versus 2 situation. Fraser is so low with that CZ. He's got to play around the smoke. The smoke is about to land. Smoke goes out behind him. So he kind of knows where Nuke Dog is. Finds the headshot. Finds Fraser. 1v2. Think nothing of it. Ghost lives up to his name. Pushes through that smoke. Pushes round it. They don't even see him coming.
That is such unfortunate time for Nuke Dog as well. He just crouched to try and jump up on the little platform so that he could get on top of first oranges, but as he does that, Ghosty peeks out, so he uncrouches and Ghosty's already trained on the angle. That comes down to the smallest of margins, and we'll see again that CeX, they're setting up for that same sort of USP thing that they did on Train as well. As well as talking about where it's kind of an homage to how they like to play their Inferno USP buys. Just waiting for Ezo to come around this corner to meet the firing squad. The flash will come through, and he will get dropped.
I've seen the full rotate over to A. They're calling out for it, but the MAC-10 will be picked up. Desert Eagle as well for Nuke Dog. Finds a kill.
Got naked now as well.
Yeah, this is a lot better than I expected. They're still rushing around, but there's a player in Mexico. Oh my god. Coming from behind, he's going to get a spray down. Only gets 1 before he ducks back down. Finds 2, finds 3. Zulu picks up the last. King playing the mind games. Coming out from that tunnel. Surprises them. Almost whiffed it a bit, but does eventually pull it back. But we'll see a fall by Fraser in the AWP. We get to see some AWPing action for the CT side, see if they can actually start pulling back these rounds.
And there's AWPs on both sides now. Ghosty is, I think, AWPing as well for the XENEX side, and let's see if Fraser can get things going. He's holding a very tight angle towards middle. Does get flashed off, but XENEX, they're going for a faster play over towards Banana. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. James BT to answer back as Rezus won the fault. Smokes will be deployed over towards Banana. That should delay the XENEX side. They won't want to push through that. You know, a rotation has come out for the CEX side.
4 versus 4. Orp still in hands. Ghosty putting it to work, finds Nuke Dog. 3 versus 4. 2 CTs on B, 1 for A, and it looks like the T's are going to rotate around. They've got plenty of time though. Utility is pretty dry for them. Smoke, Molotov, and Incendiary. LS is left on his own, finds King, doesn't find the second, and he won't be able to delay the plant any longer. And CX is left high and dry. They're probably going to save here, looking at their economy.
Yeah, and they have no kits as well. This is a tough retake to win if they even wanted to attempt it, so you'll be right in that instance as well. In that CX, they're just going to try and hold on to this AWP as well as the M4 on James BT.
And it's 4th round loss bonus, so it's getting to the point where CX, if they lose one more round, going to hit that max loss round bonus, and there is no benefits to losing past that point. So to say, I mean, there's no benefits in losing at all, but it's one of the upsides, I guess, is getting that little more money, but it will cap out, which means they've just got to make something happen, because past that point, they're not going to get the without stringing together a few rounds in a row like XENEX's, you're never going to be able to get economy together. That being said, CX has done exactly what it did in the first half, where they've been, every time they fall, they've been trying to take some with them. And the economy for XENEX, despite them winning 4 rounds in a row, isn't great, to be honest. Good enough, but it's not like they're wiping the floor with CX. But XENEX is wiping the floor with them. That's for
they
sure.
got the op already out of Frazier's hands, so that's one of the problem children. Already gone. Rezu's gonna miss the shot as well, and that's the B bomb site conceded for the CEX esports side. They've gotten both of those players taken down, and not a single kill going the way of CEX. So it should be another situation where they opt to save. James BT might go for a bit of economic damage, considering that they should be able to buy fully into the next round anyway.
It's unfortunate they lost the AWP as well. They're going to be gutted about that. Not even being able to use it to convert any kills for them this round. Ghosty's still holding on to his.
I still find it mad that the second round came down to such small margins, and it could have changed the sort of the momentum of this game massively for the CX side as well. If it had gone into their favor, they would have held on to an AK, a Galil. They would have been able to throw XENEX onto a force buy. It's all CS sometimes comes down to the smallest of margins, and I think that's one of the biggest going into this half so far. That said, CX, they are able to invest into a double up setup. James BT and Frazier are the ones to have those, not Nuke Dog.
Yeah, see if James BT can make something happen. Has looked very good so far in the series. See if it's enough to bring his team back from the brink. 14-6, one more point. One more round for XENEX, and it will be match point. But Fraser is trying to deny that from happening. The angle will be smoked off. Fraser smoke himself and will be backing off. Rezu picks up King. This is looking a lot better for CX. NS has got a trade back here. He finds one. Will he be able to find the other? Finds Zulu. Nuke Dog picks up Ash. And CX has been granted a second wind.
Yeah, this is where they can start clawing things back. If they win this round especially, then that'll put XENEX onto a bit of a half buy or force buy, and then they can start potentially thinking about getting to double digits to try and close the distance. They're half the score of XENEX currently. Need to win 7 in a row to tie things back up for them, and that's still far and away a kind of a fever dream for the CEX side at this point. Gonna try and play it one round at a time. They do have an AWP on the side of XENEX, and Ghosty, he's gonna land a flick shot to James BT, who's jump spotting over the half wall. Now
Very
leaves
nice
just Rezu on that B bomb site. Yeah, that's a very nice flick.
For James VT from his position might have been able to catch the terrorist off guard. But Ghosty says no. Denies him that opportunity, and it leaves one lone CT onto the B site. We'll see if he can hold the fort down. We'll have a player coming in to support him. That'll be Fraser with the AWP. But all the T's are now stacked up into Banana. Rezu holding this defensive grenade. So he'll wait until he hears some utility. He heard it come through. Flashes. Fraser finds the first. Rezu in this position gets one, but doesn't get any follow-up. And Fraser might be about to be chased down. He just pushed into ruins. Jumps into the fire, but jumps out of the flames. Zulu finds LS. Nuke Dog does reply. Ghosty! Fraser misses the shot. 1 versus 2. Nuke Dog on his own with an AK and a Dream at this point. He's going to make something happen. Flash goes out. Zulu has none of it. Wallbangs him to finish him off. And that not only will be match point for Team XENEX, but also series point.
Yeah, these XENEX players have been playing phenomenally. And Zulu and King Metzi have done just great work, especially when we commented on it, their CT side. They really held things down over towards that B bomb site, and even on the retakes towards A, they were doing fantastically. So he continued to show good form. Zulu's on to get the last kill in that round, and things have kind of fallen short for the CX side. We put them as favorites, but very likely that they'll end this series in a 2-0 for the XENEX side. Not a lot of utility.
Losing even worse on their own map as well. Ezo finds Rezu as well. 5 versus 4 now. Just counting down. That's the first nail in the coffin for CEX. King Mezzi hammers in the second one. Fraser desperately trying to keep the Undertaker from sending them down 6 feet under. But it might not be enough. Too little, too late for the CEX side. Spraying through the smoke. Nothing comes of it. Going out by Fraser, we'll push around. Trying to find anything, but great utility usage by XENEX, and the bomb is counting down. Still got utilities to spare.
Zulu, he's wrapped all the way around. He'll catch Nuke Dog in the back through CT spawn. In a 5 versus 3, he's taking a huge risk, but that's a game and series winning play. XENEX, they win the second map on CEX's pick in convincing fashion.
Yeah, a lot more convincing than Train. It's almost like that defeat that CX suffered in the first map. Even though it wasn't their map, they were trying to claw their way back, and it looks like they kind of messed with them. XENEX was just unshaken from how close it was, and just came into this map, all guns screaming like, maybe your map pick, but we're gonna do our own thing, and they made it work. They punished the CX economy so badly that it wasn't until the later rounds that they actually managed to get that double up setup, which we said would be so lethal for them. And even with that, they didn't actually make it connect to anything. So
yeah,
gotta give props to Team XENEX.
Yeah, we said it was convincing, but loads of these rounds did actually go down to like 2v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, and so it was a bit of a back and forth, but almost every single time XENEX came out on top, and that's just it's terrible for CEX and getting their CT side established, and it didn't work out for themselves on the T side as well. So yeah, that will be the series now concluded then.
Yeah. Well done to gotta give props one more time to XENEX. Played fantastically in that game. Unlucky for CEX, but as a team that we've seen them before, it looks like XENEX's playstyle as well just seemed to counter what we knew CEX were good at. For instance, like the pistol rounds, that sort of like puggy style, like really pushing you, putting you on the offensive when you've got a buy round. XENEX played calmly, played collectively, and made sure they weren't giving playing too aggressively or the stupid positioning. It was measured aggression. Like when they committed, they all went, but it was only when they were sure that they weren't going to give away an AK in a stupid position, or have Ghosty get out of position with the AWP or something like that. So props to them for. It seemed like they identified one of CEX's strengths almost and made it into a weakness in essence. Maybe I'm analysing it too much. I don't know.
No. I mean, absolutely. It wasn't the best of showings, but they definitely took a common measured approach to especially their T-side rounds, try and make sure that CX can come back into the game just off of an interesting pistol round that they somehow brought into like a 1 versus 2 or a 2 versus 2. So, as we definitely saw, I think 4 or 5 of those across both the maps. So
that will round it out to that will round out our cast. So this, of course, was ESEA game. Team XENEX versus CeX esports. Team XENEX winning 2-0. First on Train, and then on Inferno. Want to give props to Ghosty for that first game, and probably Ghosty and Zulu for that first game, and then probably King and Zulu for the second game. King and Zulu looking very strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Props to those two. But rounding this out, one of the reasons we're doing these casts is to get ourselves practice and ourselves warmed up. We'll plug it one more time before we leave the cast. Epic LAN, organisation we've casted for before, is doing CSGO Championship in association with Grosvenor. How am I saying that right?
I think it's Grosvenor or
Grosvenor. Casinos. You can see their logo. Right. Anyway, they're doing a fantastic tournament. It's in their casinos. Really high production value. Some phenomenal casters. Shout out to Incy, who which one did he do? Did he do the Manchester?
I think he did the Newcastle one with Switchblade J.
So so there's been some fantastic casters. Team CX, who just saw lose, has already qualified. And Newcastle, Wind and Rain at Coventry, Manchester at Endpoint. There's still time to sign up. However, participants have to be 18 or over. So make sure. So don't sign up, giving your money, and then it's like, oh no, I'm
not old
12.
enough. Unlucky.
I don't know. So make sure. Yumi, my fantastic co-caster, will be casting the Glasgow one on the 11th of August. So be there or be square. You can book tickets to go, or if you're not 18 and you're going to miss out playing, you can watch him cast it online. Who are you casting with for that one?
I believe I'll be with Scriv, who is he's casted for Star Ladder. He's done things for Quickfire. He's he's pretty established and pretty excited for it. It'll be a good time.
So good opportunity there. And then both Yumi and I, Novi, will be at the Reading on the 19th of August. So make sure you guys are there. It'd help if I did that, so you guys can see what I'm on about.
I've just been DM'd for another BO3. These guys don't know what's going on. Doesn't seem like a great time, so... Nah, I think, I mean, are you up for another best of 3? I'm kind of okay for it, but I feel like, we'll take it a day at a time. Still many days to go.
What's the best of 3? When is it starting?
It's already started. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, unideal. It's in the second map as well. So yeah. No, forget I said.
I was gonna say, how far is it through? If it's quite far through, and it goes to the third game, we could do the third game. But
nah, I mean, jumping in midway to a best of 3 is unideal. So just leave it. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. It's been a ride. We experienced GoTV issues, and then Illuminati, ESEA admin, came in clutch. What a boy. And yeah, that'll close things out. XENEX, they win the best of 3 in a 2-0 fashion.
Yep. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you Yumi for casting with me. Epic LAN CSGO Championship. Either sign up if you're a team, even if you're a player looking for a team, find a team. Sign up. You can go there in person if you're in the area on those dates, or you can watch it online and watch the fantastic Yumi, who'll be casting both events, or both Yumi and I at the Reading event. Will be fantastic event. So please be there. Cheer on the teams. Cheer on us. We greatly appreciate the support, and we shall see you next episode. Anyway, thanks once again from me, Novi, and thank you Yumi for joining me as well.
No, thanks for having me on.
Yep, and we'll probably, if you guys enjoyed this, we'll probably be doing hopefully more of these soon anyway in preparation. So
Absolutely.
so look out for it. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, and we shall see you in the next episode.